Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from the Am I Overreacting subreddit from Snoo Shortcuts 3017, and it says, am I overreacting for wanting to cut off my family after they went to my fiance's workplace to expose her? I, 24 male, have been with my fiance, 25 female, for 6 years, and we're planning to get married in the spring of 2025. My fiance and my family have always had a strained relationship, but I thought things were improving until this week. My sister, 26 female, and her boyfriend, 25 male, only visit once or twice a year, so I was excited to see them over the holidays. One evening, my fiance and I went to my parents' house for dinner and games. She had a couple of drinks. I stayed sober to drive and was a little emotional because we'd recently had to put down her childhood pet. My family was supportive when she shared about it, and the evening seemed to go well. At one point, she got an email from work, and the conversation briefly turned to what she does for a living. She works in an office. The night ended fine, and we planned to return the next day. The next morning, as we're heading back to my parents' house, I got a text from my sister saying they were in my city, which is over an hour away. Confused, I replied, "What the fuck? Why would you guys do that?" But got no response. When we got to my parents' house, I tried calling them. No answer. Finally, I called my sister's boyfriend, and he answered. That's when I learned that they'd gone to my fiance's workplace, questioned her co-workers, and discovered that she doesn't work there. She works in the office, not on the floor. He and my family accused her of lying about her work, why she left her last job, and about her getting hit by a car, and told me I shouldn't marry her. They also wanted me to provide evidence. To make it worse, I had him on speakerphone so my fiance heard everything. I was furious but tried to stay calm. I defended her, hung up and decided we needed to leave. I went back to my parents' house, grabbed our things and left. Now we're at home trying to process everything. I'm beyond upset that my family disrespected my fiance and crossed such a huge boundary by going to her workplace and harassing her co-workers. I'm thinking about cutting contact with them, but I keep wondering if I'm overreacting. Is this something I should try to do? Opie then adds some clarification about where his fiance works and says, here are some clarifications. Her work has 2 separate locations, one office where she works and one retail where my family harassed people. My fiance told them the company name and they just assumed they only had the retail location, and it wasn't just my sis and her boyfriend, but it was also my parents. Queen Goddess asked a question saying, is your family really this silly? I'm almost positive that jobs can't just tell randoms that someone works there. What if the random is a stalker? This is so weird. Why did they even do this? Is there missing context that explains driving an hour to do an employment check when it quite literally is none of their business? Opie says they are just this silly, sadly. They've been like this every time I've dated someone. They just took it way, way, way too far this time. It's one of those situations that you look at and you think, with family like that, who needs bloody enemies, right? Like, why did they even do this? Opie mentioned the strained relationship, but no examples of what was going on. She had a normal dinner with them, mentioned her job in casual conversation, and their immediate response was to drive an hour away to interrogate her workplace. Bizarre ass behavior. And apparently they've done this to other previous partners too. It's next level paranoid stuff going on right here, and it makes zero sense. Virtual Choir Boy says, not overreacting. If it were me, my wedding invite list would get a whole lot shorter instantly. Not only was that a massive breach of privacy, but it shows a complete lack of trust in both of you. Their actions indicate that they don't trust you to protect yourself as an adult, that they feel that they know more about how you should live your life than they do. Time to go completely no contact with your sister, her boyfriend, and any family that has joined in on this bullying behavior. Keep in mind that as soon as you do this, they will likely spread their made-up version of events to extended family, so you might want to call any of them that you're on good terms with and get your version out there. I would also suggest that your fiancé contact her co-workers to get clarification from them about what your family did. She might also inquire about how to prevent your sister and her boyfriend from harassing people in the building in the future. And finally, I'd consider getting in touch with a lawyer to discuss what your legal options are, because I doubt this mistreatment will stop when you go no contact. I've seen it far too many times on Reddit, where family like this starts ramping it up before they even begin to think of how terrible they're being. Absolutely, there's some good points there, right? Especially getting ahead of the game and getting your version of events out there, because there's no way they're going to tell exactly what they did in that scenario. Because if they came up to me or any other person out there and said, oh yeah, we went to his fiance's workplace to find out what's really going on, you'd think, what the fuck are you lot up to? But anyway, sometime later, OP came in with her update and said, I apologize for the delay in providing an update. Just needed to collect my thoughts. If you want to see the previous post, you can check my profile. I don't know how to work Reddit. My fiancé and I are still together and moving forward with our plans to get married. My sister and her boyfriend have gone back home and they're officially uninvited to the wedding, so now I'm back to searching for a best man. We've also gone no contact with them. I also sent a long text to my parents the day after everything went down, and they never replied. At this point, I don't even know if they're going to show up to the wedding. In the past, we attempted to set boundaries with my mother because she's nosy as fuck, and that greatly upset her, which should have been the first red flag. Unfortunately, my fiancée did end up losing her position at work, which has been incredibly frustrating. I haven't told my parents or any other family other than her parents, who have been very supportive through all of this, and I'm not sure if we will for a while, as it would mean talking to them. Thank you to everyone that's been supportive. We're taking things one step at a time and focusing on what's important, each other. Sorry for ending it so cringy. Someone asked, why did fiancé lose her job? OP said they caused a huge scene that made the workers uncomfortable. She was still in the probationary period, and they didn't want people that would bring drama. That's absolutely wild, and she lost her job because of that. Surely there's got to be some lawsuit involved somewhere, especially with OP's family. They're the ones that caused all this. And it still left us with the bloody Y at the end. Oh my word. What do you guys make of that situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. This one's from a throwaway account that says, my 25 male girlfriend, 25 female, has given up on her career after I became a millionaire. How do I tell her this won't work out? Backstory, I met my girlfriend Kylie, fake name, in community college 7 years ago. We became really close friends and started dating 2 years later. At the time, she wanted to be a nurse, which was great. She was really passionate about it, and I fully supported her. I ended up transferring to a 4-year university and earning my MBA. Kylie supported me emotionally the entire time through school, which I'm grateful for. Kylie's parents ended up cutting her off financially because of her spending habits. She ended up taking a year off to work to help her with her bills. In the meantime, I invested all of my savings, time, and energy into a startup platform with my best friend in the automotive industry. Earlier this year, we were bought out for a life-changing amount of money. We were both kept on as consultants with a high-paying salary as well. Kylie had kept her job at the jewelry store this entire time. After the buyout, she told me she was handing her 2 weeks in. I offered to pay for her school and expenses. At first, she was excited to go back and earn her nursing degree. I ended up purchasing a condo for us to live in. Big step up from our apartment, close to her school. Over the weekend, we were talking, and she threw out the fact that she wasn't sure about wanting to go back to school, and that she could be a stay-at-home wife. We're not married. I didn't say anything in the moment because I wasn't sure how to respond. Part of what attracted me to her in the first place was her ambition. It just doesn't sit right with me that she quit her job and career goals after I came into money. Her shopping and spending has also gone up. She's been looking at new cars. I could be overreacting, but something just doesn't seem right. I still love her and want it to work out, but I don't like this new side of her I'm seeing. A relevant comment from OP and says, side story, for the reason she got cut off. She ran over her friend with her car. Kylie says it was unintentional. The friend disagrees with that. Friend ends up suing Kylie's parents on the basis of them owning the car Kylie was driving. Anyway, Kylie's parents ended up settling with a friend for $250,000. They told Kylie she needed to get a job and get her own car after this. Holy moly, alarm bells are ringing. Coastal Kid says, not sure what kind of advice you want here. It's pretty easy to tell her that you never wanted a stay-at-home spouse. You want a partner that's also contributing to the household, and that you really valued her ambition towards having her own career and independence. You need to have a really frank discussion that as of right now, your assets are not shared wealth, that you're happy to help her go back to school, but you intend for your lifestyle to be whatever, and that you intend to invest further into your future. Opie replies saying, "Here's another detail I left out. Her mum was a stay-at-home mum. Her dad is very well off, so I don't think she's seeing anything wrong with her decision. That's the family life she was raised in. When we first got together, she said she wanted to be the complete opposite of her mum. She wanted to be independent and have a career. In the future, if we end up having kids after getting married, I don't mind her to be a stay-at-home mum. But for now, that's way too far down the line." Another commenter says you just have to decide if you're willing to accept someone who doesn't want to work or not. It's easy to see what's happening here. She wants you to provide while she stays at home. Are you okay with providing for someone who is not your wife, and someone you do not even have kids with? Personally, what I find more concerning and a major red flag is that she is already treating your money as if it's hers to spend. Frankly, that alone would make me break up with someone. I would tell you to cut it off while you can. If you decide to cut it off, just make sure you are vigilant or protecting yourself. Home camera when/if you break up, condoms, etc. The unfortunate reality of life is money absolutely changes people and those around you. Or perhaps it's better to say it shows you how they really are. My advice to you, don't settle for behavior you do not want to tolerate in a relationship. So sometime later, OP comes in with an update and says, "First, I would like to thank everyone for their time and advice. I truly appreciate everyone's input. I had a serious conversation with my girlfriend Kylie about our future Thursday night. I told her that she needed to figure out a plan for the future, whether that's finding a job or going back to school. I told her if she goes back to school, I would support her financially, including paying for her degree. I told her I would give her until December to figure out her plan. She ended up getting really defensive and told me that she's the reason I'm in the position where I'm at in life. She said that I should pay for her lifestyle since she was there from the start. Then she proceeded to tell me that she wasted 5 years of her life with me. She told me that she could have been married and had a family by now. I was shocked because I've never seen this side of her. She was having a complete meltdown. I ended the conversation by telling her I tried my best to make this relationship work, but it won't work like this. Unlike her, I come from a very middle-class family. Both my parents had jobs and contributed to the house. It was like she was completely a different person. That's when I realized that money had really changed her. I basically told her that a business trip she knew about already. And when I get back on Tuesday to have all your stuff moved and give a mutual friend I trust the keys. I cancelled her credit card the same night. The car she currently drives has $6,000 left on the loan. Luckily, the car is in her name, so I'm not responsible for it. I've been making the payments on it for the last 6 months. Also, I don't feel too bad like I'm kicking her to the streets since her parents would never let her be homeless. Fast forward to Friday. Her sister called me a few times and I ignored it, but then decided to answer since they were inside my condo. Sister basically told me that Kylie has been crying the whole day and wanted to work things out. I told her it was too far gone for repair. Then today her best friend called me wanting to know if I was able to meet for some drinks, which I thought was odd. Her best friend told me that she has some things to show me which were causing her to lose sleep. I told her that I would think about it, but honestly, I don't care at this point. Finding out about whatever Kylie did behind my back would just cause me more pain. When I get back, I'm going to put the condo back on the market because I have no use for it anymore. I honestly have no interest in dating anymore. It's way too difficult for me to see the true intentions in people. Thanks again for all the help and support. This will probably be the end of this post, hopefully. Side note, I had a lot of questions about Kylie running over a friend. I didn't know Kylie when this happened. Kylie originally spent her first semester of college at a private university. Kylie told me she accidentally put the car in drive instead of reverse and ended up hitting her friend. Kylie was super apologetic and the friend forgave her on the spot. Then the friend's mum found out about her daughter being hit by a car. They did research and learned that Kylie's dad is a big-time CEO of a major corporation and decided to sue her parents. The lawsuit was settled outside of court between Kylie's parents and the friend for $250K. Kylie had to leave the private college after that and join me since her parents wanted her living back at home. I don't think it was intentional on Kylie's part, honestly. But then again, I saw a different side of her for the first time in 7 years of knowing her. And I think OP just needs to do what OP wants to do in this situation. But the best friend getting in touch and wanting to tell her something that's causing her to lose sleep, I know for myself, I'm not saying OP should do it, but I know for myself, because I'm a nosy bastard, I'd have to know what was going on there. I mean, the obvious one would be cheating, right? But I'm sure there could be other things as well. Maybe we might see that in the future, but there's been no update up to this point. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's have one more story. And our next story is one from our very own subreddit, r/Mark Narrations. It's from Proud Mama 90, who says, "Would I be the arsehole here for hiding my plans from my mum? Hey Mark, I listen to you all the time as an escape from an extremely stressful and crowded home. That is why I'm sharing this with you, because I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I posted it elsewhere, but I wanted to share it directly. A bit of background to help make sense of my situation. I'm 17, turning 18 at the end of the month, and the third of 8 children, with 2 more on the way. Our ages range from 29 to 2. As you can imagine, our house is very crowded. I've been working on my college applications for out-of-state schools because, aside from the house being packed, I'm graduating valedictorian, and I want to be able to fully focus on my education. My mum, however, is demanding that I stay local so I can babysit my siblings while also paying rent, utilities, and groceries for the entire family. Here's where things get complicated. I've been meeting a couple of times a week with my mum's older sister, Aunt Mary. She never had kids, has done very well for herself in investments, and having witnessed firsthand how I'm mistreated, lied to, and ignored, she's been incredibly generous towards me. She gives me money. Not just small bills, but 50s and 100s, and has also been helping me apply to colleges. That's when she told me that she has a sizable trust fund set aside specifically for me. She isn't including my half-siblings in this because my mum cheated on my dad, and the situation surrounding my birth and their births is complicated, to say the least. For additional context, my parents divorced when I was younger, and as part of the custody agreement, I spent all my summer and winter breaks with my dad in Virginia. When my mum remarried her affair partner, she moved us all across the country to Nevada. Affair partner has tried to insert himself as my only dad, which has made things even worse. Meanwhile, my dad's wife, Lori, has been nothing but amazing to me. She has always treated me as her own daughter and even takes me out for girls' days. She owns a dog training business and has offered to help me become certified and set up my own business legally, trademarks, certifications, etc. I've been running a small business since I was 12, walking neighborhood dogs, and I also work part-time at a pet shop as a groomer. My ultimate goal is to expand my business to include training and grooming full-time once I graduate. So here's where my dilemma comes in. What my mum does know, that I started my own business. What my mum doesn't know, that my aunt has been giving me money. That I have a trust fund. That I have already made plans to attend Georgetown University for business management and business law near my dad's home, and that I plan to move to Virginia after graduation. My dad and Lori have already offered me a place to live, as have my grandparents, who live nearby in a large house, a house that I recently found out I'll eventually inherit. My dad and Lori's 2 kids, 5 male and 4 female, are incredibly sweet and understanding, even bringing me snacks and drinks while I study. If they want to ask me something while I'm studying, they write it on a dry erase board instead of interrupting me. Now, here's the problem. If my mum finds out that I'm moving back to Virginia to live with my dad, all hell will break loose because she despises my dad for reasons I don't even fully understand. She expects me to stay in Nevada, babysit, pay bills, and sacrifice my future for her new family. Would I be the arsehole if I didn't tell her my plans and just left when the time comes? I feel guilty hiding it, but I also know she will do everything in her power to sabotage me. Firstly, OP, I just want to say a huge thank you for sharing your story with us at r/Mark Narrations. It's really appreciated. And let me just start off at 17. 17 years old. I always try to think of myself at that age, and I can't imagine dealing with the different levels of everything right now that you're having to deal with. No child should have to navigate that. And I just want to list this out because you should be incredibly proud of yourself, that you're valedictorian, well managed in work, helping siblings, dealing with this family stress. It just shows a massive amount of strength and maturity. And I hate to say it, I know it's your mom, etc., but you know, her expectations of having you sacrifice your education, your future to support her new family is just incredibly wrong. You deserve the chance to build your own life, and you should do so. It sounds like you got a clear vision for your future with your dog training business, and you've worked bloody hard to earn these opportunities. And lean on the true support around you. I know it's hard to do sometimes, you know, we always think about, oh, we don't want to lean on them too much, we don't want to pressure them to help us, but truly, these people want you to succeed. Your aunt, your dad, Laurie, your grandparents, they all want you to succeed. So lean on them, and I'm damn sure they will help you. Bloody onion ninjas are coming out in a minute because the thought of all this, you shouldn't be dealing with any of this stress to begin with. I truly do wish you all the best with your future, OP. It sounds like it's going to be a good one for you, and you should absolutely go for it. If one day in the future you feel comfortable doing so, would love to hear a life update on yourself and how things went, but absolutely no pressure, of course. It sounds like you got enough of that going on already. But our first commenter came into this one saying, from C Moon, who says, run from there like your hair is on fire. Your future awaits in Virginia, not in Nevada as a third parent to kids that aren't yours. I wish you all the best. I Made This says, do not tell anyone that you're leaving. Salty Interview replies to that saying, please listen to this. Do not tell her that you're leaving. Slowly move the items you want to take with you, including your social security card and birth certificate, clothes and so on, to a friend's place, then buy any luggage you need to pack it in there. Then once you're out of town safely, you can let your mum know. I strongly suggest calling the local police station's non-emergency number as well to let them know that you're fine in case your mother tries to raise a stink that way. Good luck, and I hope you manage to get out without any major drama. You've put up with enough crap and don't need to deal with any more. And don't let your mum verbally abuse you or try to guilt you. Block her number if you have to. Ecstatic says yes, and get your documents out now. Pokey Pokey 59 says, you're an intelligent, level-headed, ambitious person in spite of your mother's bad examples. You deserve everything good in life that has to offer. Leave ASAP and don't look back. Definitely tell no one about your plan or anything that your aunt has for you. Keep it in the vault. Live your best life. Here's to you and a bright future. And one more comment from Suspicious Fan who says, you most certainly would not be an arsehole if you left. Remember this, by the time you leave, you'll be a legal adult and capable of making decisions on where you want to attend college and university. Your mum can demand all she wants, but in no way should you be responsible to take care of kids she decided to have. Please, OP, do what's best for you and your future and get the fuck out as soon as you can after you graduate. Don't let her suck you into a never-ending abyss of you paying her to essentially be a babysitter. But now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? What would you say to OP? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, sharing on our community, r/Mark Narrations. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.